My dear students, in today's class let us learn about normal distribution. See, normal distribution we will be discussing under continuous probability distribution. We have discussed two types of distribution, that is discrete probability distribution and continuous probability distribution. And under discrete probability distribution we have discussed two types of distribution, that is binomial distribution and Poisson distribution. Under continuous probability distribution we have to discuss normal distribution and exponential distribution. We are already done with exponential distribution. Now we are going to do normal distribution. Since it is discussed under continuous probability distribution, the continuous probability density function for a normal distribution is given by f of x is equal to 1 divided by sigma root of 2 pi into e to the power of minus of x minus mu the whole square divided by 2 sigma square. Here sigma is nothing but the standard deviation, mu is the mean. And this x and mu, this x lies between minus infinity to infinity, mu also lies between minus infinity to infinity. This standard deviation sigma is there na, this standard deviation sigma is strictly greater than 0. Now the necessary condition for a continuous probability distribution. What is the necessary condition for the continuous probability distribution? See, for the discrete probability distribution these two conditions must follow, right? What are the two conditions? P of x, each and every P of x must be greater than or equal to 0, and the sum of all those P of x must give you 1. Summation P of x must give you 1. Isn't it? This is what we have followed in discrete probability distribution. Now in continuous probability distribution, in the same way, each and every PDF, each and every probability density function f of x, here we have denoted P of x, here we are denoting with f of x, that f of x must be greater than or equal to 0, and sum of all these f of x must give you 1. Here this sum we will be denoting in terms of integral sign, so it is minus infinity to infinity, integral minus infinity to infinity f of x dx is equal to 1. See, here it is saying that the necessary conditions holds. Here the necessary condition holds for this normal distribution. This probability density function PDF is greater than or equal to 0, and when you take the integral with respect to x, from minus infinity to infinity, that will give you 1. This is a necessary condition for the continuous probability distribution, and it holds here. Okay, now in place of, see, for the probability density function x minus mu divided by sigma is there na. See, in place of this, if I take some other variable z, if I put x minus mu by sigma is equal to z, see what it will become? It will become f of x is equal to 1 divided by sigma into root of 2 pi into e to the power of x minus mu by sigma is written as z, so it is z square minus as it is there, so z square divided by 2. Here in this relation, if I put sigma is equal to 1, anyway sigma is greater than 0, it is strictly greater than 0. Sigma can take the values greater than 0. So if sigma is taken the value 1, then what will happen here? If sigma equal to 1, then this relation becomes 1 divided by in place of sigma it is 1 square root of 2 pi into e to the power of minus z square divided by 2. This term as it is will be there. In place of sigma it is 1. Now if you observe carefully, this is constant, this is purely constant, and this is purely a function of z. It is purely a function of z. So this completely I can consider as some function of z. So that function of z I am denoting with phi of z. Now I can write this phi of z as 1 divided by root of 2 pi into e to the power of minus z square divided by 2. So that's what I have written here. So this holds for z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma. This holds for z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma, and for sigma is equal to 1. Now this is nothing but the standard normal variate. We call this in short as standard normal variate, and this phi of z as standard normal probability density function. This is called as standard normal probability density function. This f of x has nothing but the normal probability density function. This is normal probability density function. This is standard normal probability density function. Okay, here we have one more variable, that is standard normal variate, and it is z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma. Usually we used to use in solving problems. Let us understand this f of x and phi of x. Let us understand this f of x and phi of x graphically. Okay, see, graphically f of x as follows. Graphically f of x as follows like this. F of x is the probability density function. This PDF is a bell-shaped curve. When you draw this under the graph, it will be a bell-shaped curve. It will be symmetrical about the line x equal to mu. It will be symmetrical about the line x equal to mu. This is the normal probability curve. So when you draw the PDF probability density function f of x under the graph, so it will be a bell shaped curve, and this bell shaped curve is symmetrical about the line x equal to mu, and it is called the normal probability curve. We call this in short as NPC. Now the line x equal to mu, this line x equal to mu divides the total area under the curve into two equal divisions, as right as well as to the left, and when you sum it will give you 1. Similarly, for the phi of z, for the standard normal probability density function, if we draw under the graph, it will be a bell shaped curve again, and it will be symmetrical about the line z is equal to 0, and again this z is equal to 0 line will divide the total area under the curve into exactly two equal halves, and the total area under the curve to the left hand side will be 0.5, and the total area under the curve right hand side will be 0.5, and their sum will give you 1 again here. Okay, now we'll see some note here. See, this note will help us in solving problems. I'm explaining the note now. P of z greater than or equal to 0. See, this means P of z greater than or equal to 0 means, see, when you draw a normal probability curve NPC, see, this is z less than 0 and this is z greater than 0, isn't it? See, from 0 z is equal to 0, here somewhere here z is equal to 0, from 0 to till infinity, 0 to infinity, the total area under the curve, the total area under this bell shaped curve is 0.5. This is given, isn't it? Now again similarly for the left hand side, the total area under the curve is given and it is 0.5. See, now it is asking the probability of z greater than or equal to 0. Greater than or equal to 0 means right hand side. So for the right hand side, what is the probability? The probability is known and it is 0.5. Similarly, probability of z less than or equal to 0. Less than or equal to 0 means again to the left hand side of this z is equal to 0 line. For this z is equal to 0 line to the left side. So to the left side, the total area under this curve is given and it is 0.5. See, that is nothing but the probability of z less than or equal to 0 and it is 0.5. Including this z is equal to 0, z less than or equal to 0 complete, it is 0.5. Okay. We'll see the next one. That is P of z less than z1. P of z less than z1. See, that one is, see, when you have a normal probability curve NPC, here somewhere here z is equal to 0 and somewhere here z is equal to 1, and it will continue till infinity and it is till minus infinity. Now what it is asking? It is asking us to find the probability of z less than z1. Z less than z1 means complete from minus infinity till infinity, complete from minus infinity to plus infinity, it is z only. Now the probability of z less than z1. Less than z1 means less than this z1, less than this z1, less than this z1, whatever it is, that probability you have to find. That is nothing but the area under the curve to the left side of this z1. See, we have to find the probability of z less than this z1. See, somewhere here z1, complete left side to this z1, we have to find the probability of z. That is nothing but the area under the bell shaped curve to the left side of this z1. Okay, so that is nothing but how we can split this function. This probability we can split from minus infinity to 0, probability of minus infinity to 0, minus infinity till 0 is a one term, and from 0 to z1 is another term. Probability of 0 to z1. Okay, now see, from minus infinity to 0, it is, see, from minus infinity to 0, the probability is given and it is 0.5, plus the probability of 0 to z1, it is written as q of z1. It is written as q of z1. Now I will explain this when I am solving the problem. Okay, this q of z1, how to write this q of z1 and how to find this q of z1, I will explain this term while solving the problem. Okay, next one is p of z greater than z1. Instead of this less than, we have z greater than z1. Now see, here we have the normal probability curve in this normal probability curve somewhere here z1. Now we have to find the probability of z greater than z1. Greater than z1 means for right side to this z1 all the probabilities we have to find. See, it is nothing but the area under this curve to the right side of this z1. Here we are finding the probability of z greater than z1. Here we are finding the probability of z greater than this z1. That is nothing but the area under the curve which is greater than z1. Now we know how to find the area under the curve which is greater than z1. It can be found by splitting the terms, right? See, here from 0 to infinity, just see, if you want to know the area of this, what you can do. So from here, anyway it is 0, right? Z is equal to 0. From 0 to infinity you take. From 0 to infinity you take. And in this area, if you subtract this area, then the remaining area is the area which you have to be known, isn't it? I repeat once again. To find the area of this, what we can do? Complete from here to here. From 0 to infinity you take. Then in this 0 to infinity, just subtract this area. If you subtract this area, then the area which is remaining here, that you have to know, isn't it? So it is probability of 0 to infinity, probability of 0 to infinity minus, we are subtracting here, right? So minus this area. That area is P of 0 to z1. 0 to z1. See, if you focus this, it's very simple thing. Otherwise, it is not known, then it will be very difficult for you to understand the problems. So please be careful. Now 0 to infinity, complete 0 to infinity, it is known, that is 0.5. It is discussed earlier itself. So minus P of 0 to z1. 0 to z1 can be written as Q of z1. Here also in the earlier one, 0 to z1 is written as Q of z1. It is written as Q of z1. Some 0 to some point. If you want to find the probability of some 0 to some point other than infinity, 0 to infinity, then it is 0.5. 0 to some other point which not other than infinity. 0 to some other than infinity, if you want to find the probability of the function, then it is written as Q of that point. Now I'll tell you how to calculate this Q of z1 or Q of some point by using calculator while solving the problems. Okay, now we'll go for the next note. P of minus a is less than or equal to z is less than or equal to a. What is this? How it can be found? See, here we have the normal probability curve. In this normal probability curve, it is some minus a and it is plus a. Okay, see, whatever this point, the same will be this point with the negative sign, isn't it? It is a negative part of this, that's all, right? See, whatever the area from 0 to till a will be equal to this. Will you agree this? Say, repeat once again. Whatever the area from 0 to till a will be same as from 0 to this point again, isn't it? So from 0 to a, what you can write? This can be written as probability of 0 to minus a plus 0 to minus a. Z is equal to 0. It is Z is equal to 0. 0 to minus a plus 0 to plus a. 0 to plus a. 0 to plus a we know. What is this 0 to plus a? 0 to a can be written as Q of a. 0 to a is written as Q of a. Again from 0 to some point is written as Q of minus a. That Q of minus a is nothing but negative part we don't usually find. It is positive only. So it is nothing but 2 times of Q of a. Okay. I hope it is understood. Now we'll go for the next one. Probability of minus a1 is less than or equal to z is less than or equal to a2. To find this, under the probability curve, it is a bell-shaped curve. It is minus a1 and somewhere here it is a2. Now we have to find the area under this curve. To find the area under this curve, it is here it is z is equal to 0. So it is 0 to a1. Probability of 0 to a1 plus probability of 0 to a2. 0 to a1 is Q of a1 plus 0 to a2 is Q of a2. Yes, my dear students, now I will tell you how to find the value of q of something in normal distribution. To find the value of q of something, here if you are having this type of calculator, then you have to keep your calculator in stat position. See, you can find stat here. See, if it is not in terms of stat, then you have to keep your calculator in stat. To keep your mobile in stat, see, first you have to press mode once. So when you press mode once, you can find the stat here 3, isn't it? See, 3 is to stat, so press 3 here. So press 3 here. So when you press 3, this you can see in the display. So then go back. Okay, now if it is not in terms of stat, then it will attain to stat. Okay, anyway it is in stat now. Now go for shift, press shift once. So after pressing shift once, go to stat here. Here you can find stat, isn't it? Stat. Now if you press stat, you can see these things in the display. So there you have to select distribution. So for the distribution you have to press 5. So again come and press 5. So when you press 5, these things can be seen in the display. In these 4 things you have to select the second one, Q. So for that one you have to select 2. So press 2 now. So when you press 2 here, so it will be operated. Then Q of something it is asking. Now for example, I will find 0.85. See, 0.85, Q of 0.85 you can see there. So close the bracket, then type is equal to, so you can get the value of Q of 0.85. So this is how you can find the value of Q of something for the normal distribution. Suppose if you have this kind of calculator, then press mode twice. So when you press second time, you can find stand deviation here. See, stand deviation. For the stand deviation you have to press 1. So you should select that stand deviation. So I am pressing stand deviation. So I am pressing 1. After pressing 1, that is okay. And you can see your calc is in terms of SD, standard deviation. It is not visible. This is your stand deviation. So it must be in, your calculator must be in standard deviation. SD it will be written. Okay, if it is written SD, then you are okay. Then you can go on. Now for the next step, press shift once. Then you can see distribution here. So for the distribution you have to press 3. So when you press 3, it will be operated like this, and when in the display you can see this. So here you have to find the value of Q, right? So for Q you have to press 2. So in the similar way, press 2 here. So it will be, Q will be operated now. Now in that place you can find the value of Q of 0.85 again here. For example, 0.85. Close the bracket. Yes, 0.30234. Here also 0.30234. So this is how you can find the value of Q in the normal distribution.